Good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm calling to order the Clark County Schools Advisory Council this April 10th, 2025. I think we'll start with a roll call and introduction so we can see who, most of you are online, so we'll be able to see who's here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Council Chair. Could I get Glenn Young?
I am here. Good morning.
Good morning. A representative from Battleground School District? No. Camas School District? No. Evergreen School District?
Good morning. Sorry, I'm working on my audio. This is a new platform for me. Yes,
Great.
Dr. Christine Maloney here, Superintendent of Evergreen.
Thank you. Is Brian Fox with you or?
I don't believe he is this morning.
Okay. Representative from Green Mountain School District? Hawkinson School District? La Center School District? Supposed to be. Okay. Ridgefield School District? No, we had people. So no Jenny Rodriguez or Chris Griffith. Washougal School District?
Good morning. Yes, Aaron Hansen, Superintendent for Washougal School District.
Yay for you.
Thank you. Welcome. Woodland School District?
Asha Riley here. I also believe Jenny was coming. I'm wondering if other people are having tech issues because this is a new platform for me as well, so it might be for others.
Okay.
I believe she was planning on attending.
Check my email in just a moment. Vancouver School District?
Good.
Kristen Lessig from WSU.
Here.
Brandy O'Shea, Vancouver Neighborhoods Alliance. Isla Westergaard from the Neighborhoods Group.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Jennifer Baker from Columbia River Economic Development. Rika Strong for Educational Opportunities for Children and Families. Or Diana Puff. Kimberly Walker Norton. And Mike Nerland.
Yes, I'm here.
That's roll.
Great. Okay. As if people join late, let us know and we can circle back for additional introductions. So it looks like attendance is a little low today, but welcome everyone. First off, let's review and adopt the December 2024 meeting notes. Have people had a chance to look those over? Okay, I'll take your silence as an affirmation. Would someone like to make a motion? Do we formally adopt these? Oh, sorry.
I so move.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Let's review the 2025 schedule and topics. That would be just this agenda. Am I correct on that?
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, we are going to do development updates today. And then in the fall, we will discuss legislative issues. And that meeting is already scheduled for Thursday, November 20th at 10 a.m.
Great, thank you. Okay, we'll move right along to community development updates, and we have Richard Davino. We'll talk about residential projects, data, county and city. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, counselors, school districts. As you mentioned, my name is Richard Davio, and I'm a planner with our Clark County Community Development Land Use section. In course here we're today to talk about the School Advisory Council and our updates. Okay, the annual new housing data from 2022 to 2024. The following is a summary by district. We'll go through each of the districts completed within by year within unincorporated area of Clark County. And we also have in construction and in review data provided as the end of 2024. The definitions that you'll see in the upcoming slides are NHC, which is for single family new home construction. And that also includes detached townhomes, duplexes, cottages on separate lots. The MBH is the new manufactured home units that we'll see. ADUs, of course, are the accessory dwelling units associated with always associated with a primary residence. And lastly, we have the multifamily, the MFM, multifamily residential units, apartments, triplexes, quadplexes, cottages on a single lot. These definitions are based upon the building code and the county's building permit types. We may use different definitions in land use, but we do work very closely with the building staff, and these are all quite familiar. Next slide, please. Okay, first let's start with the Battleground School District. And we have three different columns. We have those in association with each of those four type of units completed in 2022, 2023, 2024. We also have a column that are those units that are in construction at this time. And also we have a column for those units that are in review, which are soon to come out. Okay, so for Battleground, the first for ADUs, you could see that it's at least from 2022 to 2023, going up from 3 to 15, and then last year we saw 13. In constructions 15, in review 3. The manufactured home category for Battleground, we see 14 in 2022, and that's gone up this year to 21 units. Well, last year, 2024, with in construction 14 and 2 in review. Multifamily, you'll see this is the one category that you won't necessarily see in every district. We did not have any in 2022, but last year we had went up from 2023 to 132. And in construction we have 518 and 136. So that last category, that's the new home construction for typically for single family. And that has stayed relatively similar over the last 3 years with 553 in 2024, 413 in construction, and in review 16. All right, next slide, please. So for the Camas School District, for ADUs, didn't have much in the way of 2022, 2023, had a couple last year, 2024. They're picking up. We have 5 in construction and 2 in review. For the manufactured home, category seems to have gone down a little bit, 4, 3, and then only 1 last year. Also 1 in construction and 1 in review. The new home construction have stayed pretty similar. Last year, up a little bit at 19. We have a good amount in review now, and excuse me, in construction now, and we have 1 in review. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll notice that we do not have the multifamily. There was no numbers for that. Not that there are no numbers, there weren't any in 2024. Next slide, please. So for the Evergreen School District, basically have at least stayed the same from 2022. We got 4 completed, 3 in construction and 1 review. Manufactured home units gone up a little bit from in 2024. You know, 3 in construction. And we do have the multifamily category here in Evergreen. Not much the first 2 years in the study, but last year we did have 8. We have quite a bit of spike in construction right now. So that's something that we'll pay attention to. For new home construction, we've got 86 last year, 63 in review now, in construction now, excuse me, and 1 in review. Next slide, please. Green Mountain, obviously very a smaller school district. We don't have much in the way of ADUs last year. Numbers, of course, are a lot lower. 1 manufactured home, and we do have a couple of new single-family new home constructions in 2024. We do have in construction 7 now. Next slide, please. For Hawkinson, but relatively consistent. ADUs 2022, 4 2023, and 3 last year, with 2 in construction. Manufactured home, we've had 5 last year, a little bit down from maybe the years before, and 2 in construction. For new home construction, it's gone down a little bit to 40 last year, 2024, although we do have 38 in construction this year. Next slide, please. The center, we've had pretty low consistent for the ADUs. We've had 1 in construction, and the manufactured home had 3 last year, a little bit down from the 2 previous years, though we do have 6 in construction, and obviously a little bit more, which is not surprising for single family and new home construction. 13 last year, a little bit down from the year before. It looks like we had a spike in 2022, but we do have 15 in construction right now and 3 in review. Next slide, please. The Ridgefield School District, we had a couple ADUs last year in 2024. We also have a couple in construction now. Manufactured home, 5 last year, not too unsimilar for the years before. And in construction, we have a couple now. For the multifamily in Ridgefield, we had 124 units last year, a little bit down from 2023, and we have 1 in construction now. And probably the biggest number, again, not surprisingly, is the new home constructions for single family. And we had 226, up from the years before. And we have 76 in construction now and 6 under review. Next slide, please. Okay, so for the Vancouver School District, we had 18 ADUs, about pretty similar, up a little bit. 2 from the years before. 29 in construction now, 4 in review. Manufactured home, we had 4 last year, 6 in construction. Definitely larger numbers for the multifamily. 200 and almost 250 last year. 147 in construction right now. Looks like those numbers for last year were a little bit lower, but we do have 62 in review currently. And for the new home constructions for single family, we had 108 last year, a little bit down from the 2 previous years. But again, we do have 87 in construction and 4 in review. Next slide, please. Washougal School District didn't have any ADUs last year, nor manufactured home, but we did have 5 new home constructions. We have 6 currently in review, 6 in construction and 1 in review. Excuse me. Okay. This is also important too, and interesting. Obviously, we've been applying school impact fees for quite a while, and we are looking for a code amendment. Oddly enough, the current code isn't quite clear about separating the different types of home products, the single family, the multifamily, the ADUs, as it could be. And so that's exactly what we're doing. Our section here, we're bringing in through the biannual process a code update that will allow flexibility to account for different housing types, just make it a little bit more clearer, and what I think the school districts had intended all along. Next slide, please. Also, my section, we do have quite a bit in the review of schools. We have a school planner. We all work together, though. Currently, Melissa Curtis, one of our planner 3s in our group, she takes the main calls for all school questions and often will do reviews. We will spread that around, though, if based upon certain workload and stuff. But we definitely have our team available for pre-project coordination for any new public school projects. Next slide. I think that concludes our portion.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions?
Actually, I'd like to know if, Richard, if you could make that slideshow available to us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I believe it's posted online, Isla. Other questions? Richard, related to the a code amendment that might be coming forward and differentiating the types of housing, is that to better capture the potential student population and the impacts to schools?
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
Great. I think as more and more as we see multifamily housing in some of the cities, that sounds like a good thing to do. Other
Yeah,
questions?
and we requested we're trying to take this in early summer, so we'll see how the schedules work for the board, and but that's our intention.
That sounds good. Yes, we've had a busy schedule. Okay. Well, then, moving on, I think we have other county updates. Amy Wooten.
Thank you, Chair. This is Amy Wooten. I can't hear myself. Can I be heard? Oh, Richard's giving me the thumbs up. So, okay. So this morning, I'm just going to expand on the information that was just provided by Richard Davio. Based on requests that we got last year from the committee members, we solicited some permit information from all of the city jurisdictions, and we weren't able to add it into what Richard was doing. So I'm going to provide some separate permit information from each of the cities. Next slide. This information was received from the City of Vancouver. According to information received from them, permits for 8 new homes within the Camas School District have been issued since 2023. And of those, 6 have received final approval and are ready for occupancy or are already occupied, and 2 are under or awaiting construction. During the same time period, 121 permits were issued for single-family construction in the Evergreen School District. Of those, 70 have received occupancy approval and an additional 50 are in the queue. Vancouver Public Schools can expect approximately 101 new homes. Of those, 52 have received occupancy approval and 49 are still under or awaiting construction. Next screen. Thank you. As indicated on this map, the City of Vancouver has issued commercial building permits for multifamily construction for 226 new units within the Camas School District, 728 new apartment units in Evergreen School District, with another 595 in the pipeline. Vancouver Public Schools saw 307 new apartment units since 2023, and there are permits for an additional 520 units issued or underway. Next slide. This map shows locations of land use preliminary permit requests filed during the 2023 to 2024 period. According to information received from their permitting system, permits for 761 units were filed within the Vancouver Public Schools District boundary, and permits for 4,628 units were filed within the Evergreen District. I will note that there may be some overlap in the number of units reported in this data between filing approval and completion dates. I'm not really sure about the interpretation of the data that we receive from Vancouver, but if you do have questions, you can contact the City of Vancouver and they can validate this information. Next slide, please. From 2020 through 2023, the City of Camas issued 233 new single-family residential permits and permits for 20 multifamily units within the Evergreen School District boundary. Locations are shown on the plan and were provided by the City of Camas staff. District boundaries are denoted with the bright blue lines, so you can tell. They also issued 560 permits for new single family and 22 accessory dwelling units and 164 multifamily units, and those are within the Washougal School District boundary. None within the Washougal School District boundary, sorry. That was Camas. Next slide, please. In 2024, this is 2024 statistics only, the City of Camas issued 118 new single-family residential permits and permits for 84 new multifamily units for properties located within the Camas School District boundary and 85 new multifamily units within the Evergreen School District boundary, but no single-family. And Washougal received none. Next screen, please. The City of La Center reported the issuance of 220 permits for new single-family development and approvals for an additional 327 newly platted lots for single-family home construction. They did not report any multifamily development during this time period. Next screen. Oh, that was La Center. Did I miss one? The City of Battleground. It looks like the City of Battleground issued 182 units for construction of single-family housing in 2023 and an additional 284 in 2024. They issued 72 multifamily units in 2023 and none in 2024. And they had a lot of newly platted lots in 2022 at 257, 50 new lots in 2023, and 38 new lots in 2024. One more screen. The city of Ridgefield, as you can see, is very busy. According to planning staff, during the 2023-2025 timeframe, they issued 543 permits for new single-family construction. They currently have 16 subdivisions that are under construction. And of the 863 lots associated with those subdivisions, they still have issued 517 building permits. Additionally, there are 854 lots awaiting either final plat or preliminary plat approval. And no multifamily. Change slide. I'd like to thank each of the jurisdictions for providing the information to me, but I would encourage you, if you have questions about the statistics, to reach out directly to their permit departments.
Are there any questions on the information?
I think I missed it in the first slide deck possibly, but I didn't see Woodland, and then I didn't see Woodland in this data. I know I have connections with my city, so I could just go that route, but I just didn't know if that was intentional or did I miss something?
I did ask for information from the city of Woodland and did not receive any.
Didn't get it. Okay, that's fine. I can just work directly with them then. Thank you.
It would be good to include Woodland if we could get some information from them. Okay, no other questions? Looks like there's a lot of development and varying degrees of multifamily in different cities. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the transportation update.
And before we start with that, we have had a few people join during the last presentation.
Great.
If
Thanks.
we can introduce them.
Yes,
So,
let's introduce them.
all right. I believe we have someone from the city of Ridgefield who has joined. If you'd like to introduce yourself. Or Ridgefield School District, excuse me.
I was like, I don't know if she's talking about me. Hi, I'm Jenny Rodriguez. I'm the superintendent of Ridgefield School District.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And I believe we have someone from the La Center School District as well.
Yes, Peter Rosencrantz, Superintendent, La Center School District.
Hi, Peter, welcome.
All right. And then if anyone else has joined that we didn't notice and you haven't had a chance to introduce yourself yet, please jump in and do so. Okay.
I think we're covered. Okay, moving on with the agenda, the transportation update. Harrison, I believe that's you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Harrison Houston. I am a transportation planner.
Your voice is very soft. I think we're going to try and adjust on our end.
Okay.
Oh, that's way better. Okay.
Better. Okay. Sorry about that. Again, my name is Harrison Houston. I am a transportation planner with our community planning department. And yeah, thank you for having me here this morning to talk to you about some transportation updates related to some projects in the unincorporated area and some ongoing programs. So if you can go to the next slide, please. So I wanted to kind of start out this presentation by just talking about Safe Routes to School. I'm sure many of you are probably already familiar with Safe Routes to School. It's a national initiative that's really championed on the state and local level to help make it safe, convenient, and fun for children to walk, bike, and roll to and from school. The concept behind Safe Routes to School combines education and encouragement activities with enforcement in school zones and engineering solutions on the roadway to encourage active transportation and improve safety for these vulnerable users. And in Washington, WashDOT has a statewide grant where local jurisdictions and school districts can apply for funding for Safe Routes to School related projects. These projects can either be for infrastructure improvements within 2 miles of a school that serves grades K through 12, They could be design-only projects that kind of focus on doing community engagement and planning for future projects, or they can be for programs that include education and encouragement activities at the schools. This grant is offered every 2 years, and WashDOT is anticipating awarding, I think, roughly $54 million in the 25-27 biennium. We've seen the available funding for these grants or for this grant grow significantly over the last few cycles, largely due to the new revenue from the Climate Commitment Act. However, with this new funding, there's also been even more applications for this program, and it remains a pretty competitive grant. For the 2024 call for projects, the county submitted 2 applications for projects that would have funded safety improvements in the school zone for Chinook Elementary, Elkhine Middle, and Skyview High School, and in the school zone for Flida Elementary and Thomas Jefferson Middle School. Sadly, the county didn't receive funding for either of these projects. The next call for projects will be in the spring of 2026 for the 27-29 biennium. And I just want to bring it up because it's never too early to start planning ahead, and we would love to start having those that dialogue and discussions with the schools in the unincorporated parts of the county so that we're prepared for the next cycle. So if any schools would like to collaborate with the county on safety improvements, they can reach out to me and I can get them in touch with the right folks in our Public Works Transportation Division. And kind of while we're on that same note of collaboration, I also just wanted to highlight some work that's being done locally for Safe Routes to School. Right now, the City of Vancouver is in the early stages of creating their own Safe Routes to School program. They've been very generous to reach out to the county and invite us to participate in that process, since we share administrative boundaries with them, with the Vancouver and Evergreen Public School Districts. So a group of us from our Community Planning Department, Public Works, and the Public Health Department have been regularly meeting with city staff and other community partners, and then we have quarterly coordination meetings set up with the school districts. Like I said, it's very early stage, it's in its early stages, so a lot of it has just been relationship building and information sharing. But we're really excited to see what comes out of it. And for us at the county, we're kind of hoping that this could serve as a blueprint for future collaboration efforts with some of the other school districts, and kind of just wanted to float it out there that we would be very happy to set up something very similar with some of the other districts if you're interested in having regular coordination meetings for Safe Routes to School. And I've kind of included some links in the slide deck that's on the meeting website for kind of some additional resources. Next slide, please. So for this slide, I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of county projects that are located near schools in the unincorporated areas. The first one is Hawkinson Elementary School. This is finalizing and just wrapping up. This project would add some marked crosswalks with some lighting and install some school speed zone flashing beacons and upgraded signs. The funding for this project was provided through WashDOT Safe Routes to School program. The next project is the Truman Elementary School sidewalk project. This project will provide some sidewalk infill around the school and install some enhanced pedestrian crossings. It's currently in preliminary engineering and is expected to be advertised for construction in late 2025, probably early 2026. And this was also another project that was funded through WashDOT Safe Routes to School program. The next one is Northeast 130th Avenue pedestrian improvements. This just finished up this last month, and it was scoped to provide crosswalk upgrades, new school zone flashers, some RFBs, and then upgrades to some push buttons and ADA ramps. And it was kind of supported access to a Heritage High School. This project, along with some of the others listed on this list, are funded through some other grant sources. And I just wanted to kind of highlight that and put it on this slide just to show that we do kind of pursue other grant opportunities for improvements near schools outside of just safe routes to school. So the next one kind of for 152nd Avenue from Patton Parkway to Northeast 99th Street. This is just a road widening project that would make some upgrades to the bike lane, sidewalk, and it's going to be adding some pedestrian flashing crossing beacons. This would kind of directly provide those improvements in front of Yolk Elementary. And the project is advertised for construction in 2025. And then lastly, the Highway 99 sidewalk project that we have, it's mostly providing improvements along Highway 99 for sidewalk infill. However, the community identified that kind of a need for those sidewalks in the area for students at Sarah J. Anderson Elementary and Geyser Middle School as well. And I believe the construction is also scheduled for late 2025 for that project. Next slide, please. And so one project that I just wanted to provide some kind of additional detailed information about is the county's repaving project that will be happening on Northwest 139th and Northwest Bliss Road in the school zone for Chinook Elementary, Elki Middle, and Skyview High School. As I mentioned earlier, the county applied for Safe Routes to School applied for a Safe Routes to School grant last year. While it wasn't awarded a grant for kind of improvements, it's still moving forward with some interim improvements right now because this portion of the roadway was scheduled for some preservation and maintenance work for this year. And this project was scoped in direct response to some concerns that we had been hearing from the community and a high number of crashes and just speeding along the school corridor. So right now the road has a 5-lane cross section with 2 through lanes in each direction and a center turn lane. The project is proposing to reduce the cross section to just 1 through lane in each direction and a center turn lane. And the main purpose for doing this is to really reduce the risk for pedestrians, specifically students. That's kind of created when they have to cross multiple lanes of traffic at an uncontrolled crossing. So as you can kind of see from the diagram that I put on the slide, when car A stops for a pedestrian, car B's line of sight is impaired and they might not be able to see that pedestrian as they enter the roadway. So while that's kind of been the main purpose, really we were kind of taking a holistic look and wanting to just make improvements for overall safety for all road users along this corridor. So next slide, please. This kind of picture just provides a little bit more detailed overview of the improvements proposed along that corridor. You can find a more detailed version, because I know this picture isn't that great, in the link on the project website, or a link to the link that I provided to the exhibit as well. I also just wanted to point out, you might not be able to see it from this slide, but we are incorporating some dedicated right turn lanes kind of at the entrances of the school parking lots, just to help with queuing onto the road, the roadway, and the queuing that happens during drop-off and pickup times. And I know that there's a lot of concern that these improvements might kind of add congestion in the area, but I think we're pretty confident that the new configurations can still handle the current volumes. We know that we won't be able to fix everything during the pickup and drop-off times, but I know Public Works has kind of mentioned they're meeting with the school's principals to kind of come up with some other solutions, and there will be periodic check-ins after this is implemented in the summer, kind of make sure that everything is working as it should. Next slide, please.
Harrison, I just have a quick question on this. I understand, will there be a community meeting of open house related to this project coming up?
So there was an open house
Oh,
about
I missed it then.
2 weeks ago. Yes, it was. I think it was very well attended. I think there was over maybe 100 folks that showed up. And yeah, the recording for that open house is available on the project website, and I would highly recommend just watching it if you have any questions about this
Great.
program.
Thank you. So many meetings, so little time.
Yes.
Okay.
Next slide, please. And then next, I just wanted to provide some updates on the corridor improvements on 179th Street. We have a lot of improvements planned for this area. The county is just wrapping up some interim improvements at the intersection of 179th and 50th. And we'll now be working on constructing a roundabout at 179th and 29th. This is expected to start during the summer, or during this summer. And then kind of in the future, in 2028, construction will start on some road widening projects from 15th to 26th, and also some construction of some roundabouts at the interchange there with I-5. And with all this construction and road closures, there may be some impacts for the Battleground School District and Ridgefield School District, and their bus systems. And I reached out to the project manager kind of before this presentation, and they let me know that they've already been in communication with the bus system managers at both school districts, and they've planned out some alternative routes and drop-off locations. It sounds like they've been very appreciative of the early and ongoing communication from the county, and the project managers have also said that they plan on continuing communication with the districts as the projects progress, and to help determine if any additional measures need to be added to the construction activities to make sure that the bus drivers have the means to continue to provide service to those students in the area. And if you have any questions, I listed the contact information for those project managers on there as well. Next slide, please. And then kind of this next section, I just wanted to pass along some additional resources and information about grant opportunities that maybe I hope you can find helpful. First off, we have multiple resources for schools that are offered by our partners at the Washington Traffic Safety Commission and their Target Zero program. In the meeting grid on the county website, I provided some links to some one-pagers to some education programs that were passed along by the region's Target Zero manager. The first one is Teen Target Zero and Teens in the Driver's Seat program. These are peer-led programs that aim at empowering teens to educate their peers about driving risk factors that disproportionately affect young drivers. And I think there may be some opportunities for students to earn money for their school through their involvement in the program. If you're interested in incorporating some of these programs into your school, you can reach out to Jessamine Peters, whose contact information I've provided on the slide as well. And just to add to that, I know the commission has some data about speeding in school zones from some speed studies that they conducted back in 2022, 2023. I provided a link to that website, and I believe they have reports for a small number of schools in the Evergreen, Hopkinton, and Vancouver school districts. They'll give you kind of the breakdown of how many drivers that they observed were speeding during an active school zone, and it's quite alarming. But so I recommend just going there and checking that out. If that's something that's interesting for you. And then they also have some school zone grants. The deadline for that is actually coming up pretty soon on April 30th. But they do have funding for just, I think, equipment for crossing guards or crossing guard programs, and then also reimbursement for law enforcement agencies who purchase equipment for enforcement in school zones. Next slide, please. And then I also just wanted to highlight the Let's Go Bicycle Education Program that is funded through WashDOT and administered by the Cascade Bicycle Club. This is a fairly new program that helps schools integrate bicycle education in their PE curriculum. It sounds like the rollout of this program has statewide has been fairly successful. Right now, they are accepting applications for funding for the 25-26 school year, and the deadline is coming up on April 18th. I believe the funding can go towards purchasing and maintaining bicycle fleets, getting additional staff, and then training as well. And from what I saw on the website, it looks like Vancouver Public Schools and the Woodland School District both have schools that participate in the program right now. But you can get more information on the links that I provided, or you might be able to ask those two school districts to see what their experience has been so far. Next slide. And then kind of lastly, I just wanted to pass along some information and resources that are available at the county. The first two bullets are some links to our school zone traffic control policy and pedestrian crossing treatment policy. I won't go over them in detail, but they are just documents that provide some guidance on traffic control devices in both school zones and just generally kind of how we apply those throughout the county as well. There also provided a link to the Public Works webpage where you can submit non-urgent road concerns. So if you can pass that along to your schools, let them know if they would like to have maybe report something to have the county come out and look at it. That would be a great way to just submit that concern. And then for the last bullet, I provided a link to kind of a proposed program that you may see in the future. County staff has been working to develop a neighborhood traffic management program to address safety concerns for local residential roads. And we'll be taking that proposed program to council in the next few months to recommend their approval. And it should have some dedicated funding for these safety improvements. And I know in the report, the school districts are listed as collaborator as part of that program. And I could also see, if there were, concerned parents or PTA that wanted to request a program in the future. I'm sure that I could see that being part of the program as well. So I believe that is everything. If you would like to go to the next slide. Yes. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I have my contact information in case you want to reach out to me about anything in the future.
Thank you, Harrison. You are a wealth of information. Are there any questions? Anyone online? We don't see any questions, no hands raised. I would like to, Harrison, just thank you for the collaboration with the school districts related to 179th and the need for really ongoing communication. It'll be a 2-year road closure, so that neighborhood is heavily impacted. So, and I do very much appreciate the communication.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks again. We'll move on then to community planning update with Jenna Kay.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is Jenna. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, wonderful. So I work with, also in the room with me here is Amy Wooten and Dr. Oliver Orgiaco in the community planning department. And I'm going to be providing just some brief updates on the county's comprehensive planning project, which is the main project the long-range planning team is working on right now. So first, just an update on our schedule. This is the big picture schedule for this whole project and where we are in the planning process. So we have a lot of tasks to do as part of this comprehensive planning work, but we have 4 key phases. The first is project initiation. The second is shape the plan. The third is review and refine. And then the fourth is the adoption process. And so we are basically in the review and refine stage. But you can see well, the check marks show what we have completed. We still have quite a ways to go to complete this project. And then just as a reminder, county and city comprehensive plans, these are 20-year policy guides that guide growth and development in the jurisdiction. And they are updated. There's a mandatory update, which is what this project is, every 10 years for jurisdictions. So we are planning for the years 2025 to 2045 as part of this plan update. Throughout this entire process, the policymakers make decisions and provide direction to staff that sort of guide future steps as we move our way through the planning process. All of the cities in the county also are updating their comprehensive plans. We are all on the same timeline, so there's a lot of work happening in parallel between the county and the cities. Okay, so I'm not going to read through all of the steps, but this is here for reference if helpful. So just a few of the key planning assumptions that are going, that are behind the planning that's happening. So these are, the numbers up on this slide are decisions that the county council has already made that are informing what we are planning for. And so for the 20-year planning horizon. So we are planning for the county to have over 700,000 people by the year 2045. And we're over 500,000 right now. I don't remember the exact figure. About growth of about 200,000 more people in the county over the next 20 years. And we are planning for almost 270,000 jobs that will be needed in 2045 as well. So that's what we are planning for. And these numbers have been divvied up between the cities and the county. So every local government knows the number of people and the number of jobs that they are planning for as part of this planning process. This slide also notes 2 areas where there's been major legislative changes in the States Growth Management Act, which is the key law that drives these comprehensive plan updates. And so those 2 areas where there's a lot of work happening based on recent legislative changes are related to housing and climate change. So for housing, recent state legislation now requires that local governments plan for housing by income band. And so that's a new requirement that we've never had to do before. So we need to make sure that we are accommodating a sufficient amount of housing in various income bands to meet all the needs of our community. So again, all of the cities and the county are all doing that for the number of housing units we need to plan for. And then for climate change, this is the first time the state has required that county and cities incorporate climate change into our comprehensive plans. So there's a lot of work going on to review data for each of our jurisdictions and then propose policies related to climate change to add into comprehensive plans. Okay, but let's focus on schools a little bit more and how it intersects with this comprehensive plan update. And we've talked to you all before about this, but just as a reminder, the school district's capital facilities plans are incorporated by reference into the county's comprehensive plan. And so, again, as you all who work in the school districts know, you have your 6-year CFPs, and we need to coordinate with you all on those getting integrated into this comprehensive plan update. So we are in contact with Leanne Bremer on your submittals for those of you districts who are updating your CFPs, and are coordinating with her to fold those into the county's adoption process. It's our understanding that there are 4 districts who are doing updates to their capital facility plans. And then the other districts, we would be essentially re-adopting the existing CFPs with future updates coming in the coming years. The school district CFPs, we are expecting those will be shared with staff late spring or early summer so that we can get those ready to share with our planning commission and county council by the fall. In this planning process, once the county council selects a preferred land use alternative, the county also has to update its 20-year capital facilities plan. And that does include some estimates related to school capital facility needs. So we will be reaching out later this summer, once we know what the preferred land use alternative is, to see if the school districts can help us fill in some estimates on what we think facility needs might be like 20 years into the future. Okay. And I think I mentioned this already, but the capital facility plans are going to, the hearings on those for the county are planned for this fall. So they'll first go to the planning commission and then the county council. And so that would mean that they would be becoming effective in early 2026 if council is voting on them in, we think they'll be voting in December of 2025. So they would become effective in early 2026 for school districts. If there's any changes to impact fees or anything like that, that's when they would be becoming effective. Okay, and then just one other reminder, as you all know, the county's comprehensive plan has a schools chapter or element in it, which was developed with the school district several years ago when it was originally written. And we were able to share a draft of that chapter last year with you all, received edits from many of you, so thank you. We did some revising and then shared that revised version back with you late last year. And so that will be part of the updated comprehensive plan that also is going to the Planning Commission and County Council later this year as part of the updated plan that will be considered for adoption. Okay, so I'm going to pause there and I'm going to look at Oliver to see if there's anything else he wants to add about what's been going on with the comprehensive plan project or anything else related to this planning work as it relates to schools.
Thank you, Jenna, and it's good to see all of you this morning. This is Oliver Ojako, Community Planning Director. I do not have anything more to add. I can only say that we are making progress. We are required to complete our update on or before December 31st, 2025. So it's our goal to meet that statutorily deadline. So Jenna covered pretty much where we are and what additional work needs to be done. And I want to thank representative of the school district working with us to update the school chapter. We have presented that draft to our planning commission, and we will be sharing that draft with our council beginning, I believe, April 16th. So that is where we are. And as Jenna mentioned, when we get to the preferred, if there are any need to further update those chapters, we will work with you to do so. The presentation or update that Harrison provided, he's a great addition to our team. So any further follow-up, please reach out to Harrison. He also provided project managers on some areas where he's not the lead. So we are here to help you be very successful. And thank you all. I have nothing more to add.
Okay, thank you. I know this has been a lot of work and still a lot of work yet to do. Are there any questions from anyone online? Don't see any questions. Okay, I just want to underscore the importance of the planning for housing, which is, there's always been a goal related to housing, but the directive from the legislature and the Department of Commerce really is putting more detail on that and really have identified population numbers in each income band. The objective is really to provide more affordable housing in each of the jurisdictions to meet your community needs. And although we don't build affordable housing, we can set the stage through zoning and development code to encourage more either multifamily or middle housing like duplexes and quadplexes and cottage housing. So we've been underway with that work. So I think it's very important. Thank you. Okay, without any questions on that, we'll move right on to mental health sales tax. And Jordan, I think you may be online.
I am indeed, Chair.
There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordan Bogie. I'm a senior policy analyst. I support the Clark County Council and the County Manager's Office. I wanted to give everyone a brief update on the status of the mental health sales tax fund and some changes that have come about this year. As you might recall, for some of the folks that have been with us, the mental health sales tax is a dedicated funding stream that supports treatment and prevention services for mental health issues and substance use issues, kind of along the spectrum from preventing to treatment. And ESD 112 did submit an application last year that did not move forward. And I know there was interest in potentially submitting an application again this year. Unfortunately, for school folks, there's not going to be an external application period for the mental health sales tax this year. So I did want to give folks that update. Typically, that opens in June and is due in August. We have a new council that has come on, and some of the priorities have shifted with the use of funds, and the council directed use of most of the remaining available fund balance to support the City of Vancouver's Bridge Shelter project that they are working on addressing some of the challenges around mental health and substance use disorders and their relation to the homelessness crisis. And so I just wanted to let folks know that there is not going to be an external process this year, but hoping that there will be a process in future years as the fund balance is replenished. But just wanted to let you know the council kind of did that outside of the typical annual process. And so the timeline is a little bit different than it often is. And so that is the update that I have for you all today. I'm sorry that it's not a more positive one. But I do know that those dollars are going to be invested in the community in other ways. And so that's the direction the council has chosen to go this year.
Thank you. Are there any questions, comments? Okay. Sorry you had to deliver this not optimistic news, but I think the county council has really struggled to balance all of the needs in the community. And I think it also underscores the acute nature of the homeless situation. So that's where we're at, but hopefully there'll be more funds in the future. Okay. Then moving on, wrap up and debrief. Oh, I guess this is a good lead in. One thing to something I wanted to bring in, and that is McKinney-Vento. And, I read just last weekend the homelessness and homeless kids are on the rise. And I met with the superintendents a couple of years ago to talk about this and the concerns. And, with the county, we have funds that are earmarked for certain purposes, but those funds don't even recognize, the population that is served by McKinney-Vento. And I just wanted to open it up, and you may or may not be prepared for this, but I would appreciate really an ongoing dialogue about what the needs are related to the students that are eligible for McKinney-Vento and what the trends are, and really if there are needs that you have, it would be good to bring those forward to the county just so that we're aware of it. And, as we are in the process now this year of revising our homeless action plan. So I'd just like to invite you to, share your needs and information related to that. I don't know if anyone has anything they'd like to share today.
I just would share that for most of us, we have someone who's designated as the lead for that in our school districts. And so if that's information that's of interest to this group, we would probably want to bring those folks to the table.
Thank you for that. Do they meet collectively countywide?
I
Or
don't
is it
believe so.
school district by school district?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out. Okay. Are there any other updates, announcements, or questions? Okay, hearing none. What I guess our next steps are, just encourage you to get involved with any of the comp plan update work that's underway. Feel free to communicate with us on anything of interest. And, I guess the only next step is our next meeting. Is that correct? Okay, which will be November 20th. And all of the slides today are posted online under this meeting notice. So great.
I would like to draw your attention to the fact November 20th is the WASDA conference. And so for a lot of us superintendents, we accompany our boards to the WASDA conference.
Oh, that's good to know. Could we look at maybe rescheduling ours? How long does the conference go? We'd have to do the week before, the week after. We might get into Thanksgiving. Thanks for that. We'll look at rescheduling this meeting.
And congratulations, Christine. Well done.
Thank you. I'm thrilled.
Great. Okay. Without any more comments, we'll keep you posted on the date for the next meeting, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay.